Welcome to the Finance and Tech podcast. I'm your host and Chief Finance Techie, Simon Ritchie. This is the show where we dive into all things technology for finance teams. I interview other finance techies, finance leaders, and industry legends who share their stories, strategies, and insights to help you build and grow in your career in finance. In this episode, I talk to Tejas Parikh, the Finance Planning and Analysis Transformation Specialist. He's got a finance background, he's commercially minded and in love with technology. Tejas is the founder and lead consultant at his very own consulting business, Akshar Business Consulting. Tejas has worked with a diverse range of companies, including GE Healthcare, Vodafone, Unilever, and more. In this episode, he shares some fabulous stories about his life and experience in finance, posting depreciation journals where the asset balances went up. That's a geeky accounting joke because depreciation takes asset balances down, not up. He is a proud, lazy person. He uses tech to automate everything. He doesn't want to manage those massive spreadsheets and do all that hard work. Why do that when you can automate it? He says that the best way to get promoted in finance is to be smarter, embrace technology, which creates the bandwidth you need to dive into business strategy. He shares his power pose memory, creating an investor paper in record time and dancing around the office in the centre of London. I absolutely love some of his top rules and tips, like anything which takes more than 45 minutes can and should be automated and improved. And if you don't learn today, you're going to have a disaster tomorrow. Tejas is one of the most energetic and charismatic people I've had the pleasure of speaking to. I know you're going to enjoy this episode, and I'm sure you'll be laughing along with us. So, enjoy. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the show. Today we have Tejas with us.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me, Simon. It's a pleasure being here.
Absolutely. Tejas, why don't you just give us a quick intro, a little bit of background. I'd love to understand some of the key moments in your journey to today.
So I come from a very business background in terms of a family background, and I am a chartered SEMA qualified management accountant, but I did my MBA before I did my SEMA because I am much more commercially business focused absolutely before I became an accountant. But even today, what I do, irrespective of what I do, I still recognize myself and identify myself as a finance person first.
Amazing.
Right? So I'm a finance professional who is commercially focused and is in love with technology. That's the whole package. And that's where the business that I am basically running at the minute called Akshar Business Consulting comes along from. Because these are my three passions in life which I've brought together.
Yeah, amazing. And how what sort of led you into finance? Why finance instead of going marketing or some other route?
I don't know, man. I've been always very passionate about numbers. I think numbers, I like the comfort of numbers specifically because they are finite, they are measurable. A
Yes.
one means a one and a two means a two. It is not subject matter of opinion. Whereas with a lot of marketing and sales stuff, it's a lot more like, yeah, but I feel and I think. Whereas finance is not what you feel and think. It is what it is. It's what in front of you. So you made a loss, you made a loss.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
yeah, yeah, amazing. And how did you get started then? Let's just think back to sort of those early roles. So you got educated. How did you get your first job in finance? And then how did you progress from there?
Oh God, I have to, since you brought this topic up, I have to share this story with your users. I'm sure they'll enjoy this.
Yeah.
My first job in finance, I was working as a accounts assistant type role, right? You're like doing, my first day on the job, I am sitting there and the guy gives me, the CFO basically gives me, small business gives me basically depreciation entry to pass that, like, just make this depreciation entry. We are going towards month end, so we need to put depreciation. I go back to my PC, put the depreciation entry. The CFO calls me back, come here. Like, after you doing depreciation, my asset value has gone up rather than going down. I basically did it the wrong way around. So
The
my
wrong
debits
way
and
around.
yes, debits and credit were the other way around. So yeah, I mean that happens. I mean
It
nobody is really
happens.
perfect, right? I mean
Yeah,
it's not obviously it was first job, nervous, don't know
yeah,
what the hell I'm doing. I didn't ask the question of what the signage is. Right now when I go talk to anybody in life, any new business, what's your signage? Credits are positive or credits are negative,
yes.
and things like that, so that I know when I'm passing the depreciation entry, I do
Yeah.
it correctly. Right? It's not.
Yes, yeah. I've spent many, yeah, I think probably all of us in finance have posted the journal the wrong way round and and absolutely freaked out the whole team the next day when you look at the summary, and
So
I've spent
yeah.
many hours chasing down entries that went in the wrong way. What a story. What are some of the craziest or pivotal moments in your career thus far that you would share?
Yeah, well, I think there are quite a few. One of the reasons where I feel what I do today, what has led me here, is one of the moments which I spent at GE Healthcare. I was working literally as a finance analyst. Okay, so I was not even like I'm at the
Mm,
bottom of the table essentially, and we spent 3 months putting together a forecast for a 5-year forecast for for the division we were working in. 3-hour presentation to the group CEO. We got thrown out in 40 minutes. I am not exaggerating. On speaker, basically, she was like, go home, you don't know what you're talking about. We were all there on the phone with our GM and we got thrown out, basically.
wow.
And she said, come back in 2 weeks and let's talk.
Hmm.
And I walked out of that meeting room and basically went to my group head of FP&A and I basically said, I'm going to resign. I can't do this anymore. We spent 3 months, late nights, pizzas and takeaways every day in office. And this is ridiculous because what you're doing is this just doesn't make sense. And he like looked at us, yes, you can resign, but the reality is if you think you have a better idea, tell us what can be done better. And I was
Mm,
like, look, either somebody has to take charge. Either I take charge or you take charge. He said, okay, you take charge. And then I took charge. We made a storyboard with the CEO, with the GM and the CFO,
hmm.
our regional CFO, and we said, okay, this is the story. Everything else gets filtered out. Okay, it's not a free for all hot pot where we put everything in just because we can. Can't have a 200-page slide deck, right? That's pretty ridiculous,
Yeah.
right? Things like that. We narrowed it down, we filtered it, we controlled it, we brought then real insights, data management, everything else around it. In 2 weeks, when we went back for our basically pitch, we did a 2-hour pitch and we actually got applauded for basically having the most clear idea. As EMEA, we had the most clear idea as compared to all other regions. But
Wow.
they're like, yes, last time you messed up, but you've now come with absolute clarity. I'm like, yes, but that's because last time what we did was a hot pot. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry, with respect, came with an idea. We made slides on it, and
Right.
then we had like 200-page slide deck. I'm like, this is nonsense,
Okay.
and so that started getting me into where I am today, where I'm like, you know what? People need to work smarter, not harder. 3 months late nights were not needed. I
Mm,
still say any finance person who comes and argues with me that my job needs me to work long hours and weekends. Sorry, you are wrong. You're thinking about it wrong. And out of 19 years of my career, I am yet to come across a role where that is necessary. I'm saying temporarily you may have to do that,
mm.
but if you fix it correctly, you go home at 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock, which in a finance world is a good time to go home.
Yeah. Absolutely. And so in your intro, you talked about being a finance person first and being in love with tech. So just talk to me a little bit about that. When did you discover that you had that affinity or love for technology?
I am basically the real life example of I think there's this quote which goes around, right? That give the most difficult task to the laziest person and he'll find the simplest way to do it. I say I am a proud lazy person.
Amazing.
Okay, because I am not looking or want to work hard across 20 Excel books to try to make sense of stuff. I am categorically lazy. So I started falling in love with tech in 2009 at GE Healthcare, where we were trying to do commission calculations for our sales reps, trying to get sales data, orders data, and gross margin data from different sources and trying to bring it all together. We had like a 6 Excel book mechanism, and I'm like, I'm not doing, okay? This is not working. I'm not doing this. Well, now tell
Yeah.
me what I'm doing, because this is not happening. So I worked with somebody over there who I'm still Richard Sully was the guy's name. I'm still very grateful to him. He
Uh-huh.
introduced me to something called Access. Okay, now I know MS Access is out of date,
Yeah.
but I started using MS Access, where we put all the 6 data sources in there, made relationships, all of that stuff, put a pivot table connected to the Access database,
Hmm.
which
Hmm.
works like a Power Pivot today, which a lot of people would be aware of.
Yes. Yeah.
And then my basically commission calculation was basically automated, which was the respectfully the bloody purpose, right? So yes, to build all of that, I worked late evenings. I did what I needed to do to
Yeah.
get there. But then, for next 6 months, 12 months that I was in the role, I was going home on time. Why? Because I've done it. Copy paste, refresh my pivot table. That's your basically answers. Go home. I'm
Yeah.
not doing this all over again. Literally, like the whole commission process was 15 minutes job. It was
Yeah.
not like a
Yeah.
like maybe 3 days job. So
Yeah.
that's where my love for basically technology began, because
Yeah.
obviously at the time Power BI didn't exist, not a lot of CPM tools existed. So
Yeah.
this is where my love for technology started, and then I kept abreast with technology as much as possible throughout my career, because I'm like, you know what? I can do this. This
Yeah.
just makes my life easier.
Yeah.
I got, 3 awards at GE Healthcare. I also got a 4th CFO award at GE Healthcare for stuff like
Mhm.
this. Just because they're like, you just have all the answers. I'm like, I actually don't have any answer, but I'm not going to tell you that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just a
Yeah.
tech, right? I'm not doing anything.
I absolutely love that. It really resonates with me. I had a similar experience in my roles when I started in finance. Someone would give me this standard operating procedure document, and I would read it, and it had, take this number and paste it there, and then, like, change this number, and it was entirely manual. And so I would, like you, spend a lot of time, probably a lot of evenings, etc., sorting that out, automating that, just because I wanted to be really slick and streamlined for the next month and the next month, and yeah, so that's how I discovered my passion for tech as well.
Yeah, if I may just add, right? People
Mm,
also talk about, what is a good business partner and you should
yeah,
put yourself out there. Okay,
yeah,
that's all very well and all well said and done. The
mm,
reality is people don't have time. Okay, if I had kept that commission process for as a 3-day process that it was,
yeah,
I just wouldn't have the bandwidth to
yeah,
offer myself to do something more. Okay,
yeah,
get that exposure, get that promotion, get that
mm,
whatever else. You just cannot. I mean, there are what? You work 20 or 21 days in a month. There are only that many hours. So if you want to do more,
yeah,
you have to be smarter.
yes,
So the way I grew in my, anybody listening to this, categorically I'll say embrace technology, because that gives you the bandwidth to expose yourself to more, get more into the business, get more senior leadership exposure, because then you have the bandwidth to do that. If you create free time, then you can do more. Okay? Expecting people to do more with the same does not work. If
yeah,
you do this, I think it is a definition by Einstein that doing the same thing and expecting different results is a definition of madness.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
absolutely,
so we should
yeah.
stop the madness, basically.
Stop the madness. Embrace tech, and I absolutely agree. I think it's a fantastic way to save yourself more time so you can be more effective, and you can also use that time to learn, and that can really help to put your career on the growth path, and move fast as well. Fantastic. Working with technology is tough, though. It can be challenging. There can be some real headbang, running into brick wall moments. So I like to ask this question about a power pose memory that you might have. So let me just explain. So if when I found a number of times I'm working on a problem, sometimes it's just pure like trying to analyze some numbers, and sometimes there's technology involved, and you're trying to figure out how can I get this thing running, how can I get this calculation working, etc. And you'll be banging your head against it, and then you'll get it. You'll kind of like build the pieces, and then the thing runs for the first time, or you do it. And what you want to do is you just want to stand up in the middle of the office and just power pose, just like yes, own it. So, do you have a power pose memory that you would share?
Oh, loads, right? So like literally, uh, first of all, what you just said, right, of banging your head. I'd say first thing, anybody trying to do that, there are multiple things I'd say. First is walk away from the problem. Okay?
Mm,
Because I've got some of my best ideas when I'm trying to go to sleep, or when I'm basically like, respectfully sorry, but I'm in the shower and I'm like, oh my God, I've got this light bulb moment, right? So first, walk away from it. Secondly, today's day and time is not what it was 15 years back. Okay, I know I now sound old, but
mm,
YouTube actually has got a lot of solutions out there. So respectfully, don't think that your problem is unique to you. Okay,
yeah.
Google is your best friend, and so is YouTube. Actually, 9 out of 10 problems that you're facing, there is a solution out there, and
Yeah.
somebody's cracked it.
Yeah.
Okay, don't
Community.
try to do it alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
LinkedIn is a very good community. YouTube is
Yeah.
a good place. Google is a good place.
Yeah.
As far as I am concerned, I tell you, I face this every day, like literally every day of my life. Like I have done this especially at Vodafone. I've done this a couple of times. So we
Uh-huh.
had this process of basically investor appraisal process, which was basically completely manual and whatever else. So I helped automate it and train the offshore team to automate it in basically Eastern Europe, so that they could do all of it and things like that. And when the first thing came out, to give you a background, it would take me 3 to 4 weeks to create that investor appraisal document. It was
Wow.
going to the CEO. Okay, so like at the time, Vittorio was the CEO, which Vittorio would read it. So like you had to get it like perfect. From that, the first quarter, where it was done completely by the offshore team, it took me 5 working days. In 5 working days, my paper was ready, reviewed by the senior vice president, ready for the CEO, and it's out of that. Bish posh, I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boss, I got up and I did a little dance in middle of the office in Vodafone in Paddington, and I'm sure people around me basically looked at me and thought, what is wrong with this guy? He's a bit nutters. But I enjoyed the moment. I was like, man, last like 3 to 4 weeks, couple of times before I've done it, and one of the times I was in office in Paddington office in Vodafone till 12 o'clock midnight.
Wow.
My group, my division CFO was with me till 12 o'clock midnight in office. We were trying to sort this thing out. So from that to do it in 5 working days
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like finish it in time, you're like, yes,
Nice.
yes, I am
Yeah.
the man, if you know what
Yeah.
I mean.
And what was the secret there? Did you embrace a particular technology in there, or did you just sort of tear up the process and rethink it?
It was process redesign, as well as, again, this was back in the day in 2012, 14, so it was much more of Excel automation and Access database around it.
Yeah.
But it was process redesign as well.
Mm.
So a lot of the processes that I have come across in life are basically botched on processes. Over 3 to 5 years, basically processes get botched on with more processes and more requirements, and then you have a Frankenstein of a process.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's the time when you take every 3 to 5 years. I think as finance leaders, we owe it to ourselves and our team. Sit back, look.
Yeah.
Okay, and the way I identify the low hanging fruit is what consumes my most amount of my time. That's that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I still stand by the rule. Anything which takes more than 45 minutes
Hmm.
can be automated and can be done smarter.
Yeah.
Out of 19 years of experience, right? Anybody, even today, can come and show me that yes, this process takes me like 3 days or 5 days, and I will help you automate it. I was head of FP&A at GE Healthcare. Obviously, I got promoted from an analyst to the
Yeah.
head of FP&A. But when
Yeah.
I was head of FP&A, we built a center of excellence FP&A team. And my team today, first of all, I'm proud to say, my interns also today are directors at Amazon and businesses like that. And even today, we talk on LinkedIn and on WhatsApp, and they still say, "Tejas, some of your rules we still live by." One of the golden rule is anything takes more than 45 minutes, it's wrong. Full stop. No
Yeah.
argument. It's wrong. Now let's figure out how to bring it less than 45 minutes. And we
Yeah.
would put the problem statement on the board, like a whiteboard, there's a whiteboard behind me, and basically we will all brainstorm. How can we make the process better, technology better, or sequencing better, output better, whatever, what needs to be done to break it less than 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And we did. We
Yeah.
have consistently done. I have still in 20 years always done that.
Yeah.
So challenge yourself, man. It is always
Yeah.
possible.
I always hear, so I love that. I always hear when I talk to people about this, the common thing that people come back to me is that they're so busy doing that they don't have the time to invest in improving the process. What do you typically say to that? How do you help people find the time? Or, how would you address that?
I
Is that
respectfully sorry, but I laugh only because they are the same people who will work the weekend and basically
yes,
evenings, and they will keep doing that every month, month after month,
yes,
right? Sorry, with respect, in your
yeah,
5 or 10 days during your month end when you're doing it,
yeah.
fine. Then don't walk away for the 20 days left and say, you know what? Then you will live in that cycle because you
Mm.
respectfully don't have a choice.
How do you break the cycle? Yeah,
Exactly. So 1 month end, sacrifice the 30 days. Do the 10 days of hard work and then take a week. What did I do?
yeah.
Why did I do it? How can I make it better? Okay, ask the why. Again, Simon
Mm.
Sinek, ask the why.
Yeah,
Okay, it is investing today to make a better tomorrow. Okay, when I was growing up, going through my university in India, I had a tutor, and his book had front page. If I have 12 hours to chop down a tree, I will take 8 hours to sharpen my axe.
yeah,
It's a principle I live by today. Okay, if
yeah,
I have a problem statement, I will spend time thinking about it, reorganizing in my brain. If I can see it in my head, I can see it in real life. It's simple as that. Do that. Yes, it is hard work. They just said 1 month will be so painful. Yes, but imagine next
yeah,
12 months of this job will be like a breeze, man.
yeah,
So you have to invest that time. And frankly, if you don't change, right, change is the only thing constant in life. So
yeah,
either you drive the change or you will be driven to change.
yeah,
There is no steady, oh, I have a permanent job, I am going to do this for the rest of my life, does not exist anymore. I
yeah,
am yet to see a person that does that.
yeah,
So I have always chosen to lead the change because I
yeah.
will not be led by others to change. I
You
I hate it because you
can't just
don't.
sit there and wait and
Yeah,
yeah, feeling helpless. Absolutely.
exactly. I don't like that helpless feeling. I like the fact that I am in control. Sorry, a bit
Yeah.
of a control freak there, but yeah.
That's all right. You're really big into learning and development. When we spoke in pre-show, we spoke a lot about learning development. What would you say, and what advice and recommendations do you have for people working in finance on how to stay relevant, embrace technology, etc.?
We did a workshop yesterday. Okay, just to throw some numbers out there, we had 250 registrations, basically more than 80 attendees for the event. Okay, that's what you do. Okay, today with LinkedIn and with social media, yes,
Yeah,
social media gets a bad name, but social media also has tremendous opportunity. Okay,
yeah,
there are loads of people like myself, like Howard Turncliffe in the UK. There are so many other people on LinkedIn, right? There is Andreas, there is, I can give you a bloody list.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
honestly, there are so many people out there. They are
Yeah,
putting their content out there. They are doing free webinars or free workshops.
yeah,
Attend that. Okay, that way you get thought leaders who are basically pushing the boundary. Yesterday, like I was sharing, a sales volume, price volume, basically automation within Power BI.
yeah,
I know when I was at G Healthcare, a million times I've done that. Now it is automated, it can be done in Power BI in 30 seconds, right? So stuff like that. Go and look. for solutions like this, attend webinars like that. That is fun. Second, use Google and YouTube. Okay, there is a whole lot of self-learning out there. It doesn't cost a penny.
Mm.
It costs your diligence and your time. Okay. Third, then I'd say basically there is Udemy and stuff like that. It is cheap as chips. Okay, like I have got lots of Udemy. I've got like 40 Udemy courses. They cost like
Yeah.
10 or 13 pounds each.
Yeah.
Sorry, respectfully, it's bullshit money, man. I mean, 13 pounds you spend on 4 coffees these days.
Yeah.
So it's not really costly. So there
Yeah.
is genuinely in today's day and time, first of all, as an individual, there is no excuse for you
Mm.
to not teach yourself except you have got extremely different, difficult personal circumstances. Otherwise, anybody who is not self-learning themselves is got a problem because in 5 or 10 years time you will be irrelevant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and as finance leaders, if you have a L&D budget, learning and development budget for your team,
Yeah.
it's not a variance of savings against budget. Don't use that as your variance of savings against budget because that's your savings today for your disaster tomorrow. Because these are the
Mm.
same finance leaders, respectfully, they complain that, oh, but my team doesn't have the skill set. Oh, but my team is not ready for the technology.
Everyone's
What have
leaving.
what have you done for it?
Mm.
Right, again, 7 habits of effective people. Okay, first habit, take responsibility for whatever is around you. So what have you done to improve? What have you done to improve people's skill set in your team? Yes, you can go and hire a bunch of consultants like myself, and we will help. I'm not trying to say we can't help, but the reality is, if your team is smart enough, they will extract better knowledge out of us. When you hire external consultants, they will squeeze them out because they will know what questions to ask, what challenges to pose, how can this be done better.
Yeah.
That's what we want. I don't know
Yeah.
what other consultants, that's what I enjoy. That is why
Yeah.
I enjoyed yesterday also. I kept mentioning Paul in the webinar again and again. I love working with Paul Rochester. Bloody, he knows Power Query. He knew stuff. So when I was doing Power BI with him, he kept challenging me. Like, but why can't we do this? Why can't we do that? That's good for me too.
Good for all of us. Yeah.
That's
Amazing.
the way to go. L&D is, basically, if you don't learn today, you have a disaster tomorrow. Remember again, the saying, right? They say the CFO asks the CEO, if we spend on training on people, and what if they leave?
Yeah.
And the CEO is like, what if they stay and you don't spend on them? Then you got a bunch of duffers to work with. What do you want to do? Right? So don't
That's, that is fantastic.
don't do that.
I had the pleasure to be there for the workshop yesterday. Absolutely loved it. What I wanted to ask, so it was fantastic. It was very well attended, and the content was fabulous. And then you just jumped in, and I love the confidence and you basically just opened up some software. And the thing with software is, you're going to hit screens that you didn't expect, things are going to not quite run as planned. So with tremendous confidence, you obviously really know your stuff. You just did a live build for most of the workshop. Where does my question is, where does your energy and confidence come from?
Respectfully,
And where can we get that?
no, that's unfortunately, respectfully, that's DNA made. My father is 72 and he still has this much of energy. I am not
Okay.
exaggerating. And as far as confidence is concerned, realistically,
Mm.
there are two elements, right?
Yeah.
You may not have noticed, but actually yesterday something did not work. So when I was in Power Query, I was trying to show you the actual existing tables and didn't work. So I just said, okay, let's go and get data again. Right? So
Uh-huh.
I went and got data again.
Yeah.
Right? There is nothing wrong with being
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. As I said, my first basically journal entry was the wrong way around. And you know what? I am still the same person.
Yeah.
I have never in my entire career claimed that I am the smartest in the room. In fact, if you are the smartest in the room, change the room. Because you're in the
Wow.
wrong room. So change it. So no, I did not. Yesterday it did mess up. Okay, I obviously carried it out. I brought in new data and we did what we did.
Yeah.
It's not the
Absolutely.
end of the world, right? And people are not there to pull you down. There will be
Mm.
some people, 5%, maybe worst case 10% population who will try to pull you down. 90%, 95% people will work with you. Okay? So don't let that, come and affect you, because a lot of people, basically, I know, don't start because they are afraid of failure. Okay? Trust
Yeah.
me, if you don't start, you have already failed.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
start and you try something, you may or may not fail. But
Yeah.
if you don't start, you have failed. 100%.
Yeah.
There's no choice. So I did something yesterday, and yes, it went well. Yes, some
Yeah.
things did not go exactly as per plan, and I talked to my team this morning already about it. Like, this did work out. Can you guys look at this? So yeah, so that's there, and that will happen. I'm not saying that is not going to happen. I'm not saying I'm going to be perfect. Yes, I strive to perfection, but
Yeah.
I'm only human. To err is human.
Yeah.
Just have
Amazing.
the positive mindset that you are trying to add value and you are
Yeah.
trying to help. As
Yeah.
long as you stick to those values, even if you make a mistake, so what? At the end of the day, have you helped people? And I felt good yesterday because till 6:15, even 15 minutes after the workshop, people hung around, kept asking questions.
Yeah.
Means I help people. People saw value.
Fantastic.
That's it, right?
Fantastic. Can't go
That's my
wrong.
passion. That's what
Yeah.
drives me.
Absolutely. Let's just talk quickly, sort of step back and think about some of the broader trends. So, what are you observing at the moment in terms of trends in finance technology, FP&A, etc.? What are some things that you're
Uh,
tracking?
I think, frankly, what I am hearing from the ground perspective, right, when I'm talking to leads or customers or things like that,
Yeah.
respectfully, I think finance functions in the corporate world have not kept up with finance technology. Okay? Finance tech is evolving and developing faster than the rate at which finance professionals are able to keep up with it.
Yeah.
Okay? That's just the fact.
Mm.
First. Second, therefore, there are consultants like myself, which I feel the space that I am looking to fill is these people are being left behind. Those people are running so fast with AI and stuff like that now being embedded into software that they are running at the speed of light and they are running at the speed of a turtle, right? There is a big gap. You need
Yeah.
somebody in the middle to
Yeah.
help these guys catch up,
Yeah.
right? And make sense of what is going on.
Yeah.
Because the reality is that there is data being thrown at finance professionals again. And there is so much data. There is inconsistent data, there is disparate data, there is poor quality data, but there is just so much of data. So again, the data, technology, and people, that triangle needs to work in tandem for this to actually start becoming information age. Yes, people try to talk about we are already in the information age and this, that, and the other. Respectfully, for the finance function, I think we are just getting started. Okay, I have read a statistic somewhere where basically finance tech penetration outside ERP systems. ERP system is not. First, let me be clear on this show. Okay,
Yeah.
ERP system or accounting system is not finance technology. It's like having bread and butter. That is what you need to survive, right? That's not.
Mhm.
I have the next gen finance technology. You don't. Okay, your QuickBooks, your Zero, your Navision, or even Microsoft Dynamics, SAP, all of that is your
Uh-huh.
bread and butter. Without that, you will have to go back to pen and paper. So
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
that's not your next gen finance tech. Your next gen finance tech is when you are able to take finance data, non-finance data, operating data, bring it all
Mhm.
together, start making business decisions, business insights, things like
Yeah.
that. Then
Yeah.
it is finance tech first. That's the
Yeah.
definition of finance tech to me.
To you.
Okay?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
to make that starting to work, finance functions have a very, very long journey to go.
Yeah.
And to add to that, it is not going to happen as a transformation in 3 months' time. Me or any consulting company coming and telling you that in 3 months we'll transform your finance function is lying. Okay, so I never say that. I say in 3 months we'll start changing and adding value and you will see results, but it will not finish the transformation.
Yeah.
There is nothing like finance transformation in my world. My world, it is finance evolution.
Evolution.
People evolve. Okay, people don't transform. You don't give up smoking tomorrow morning. Okay, or you don't become a gym, like, a gym nut tomorrow morning. It takes time, it takes effort, and there is no shortcut to that. What
Yeah.
people like me can do is help you along that journey, like your personal trainer at gym. But I can't do that journey on your behalf, and it is not like no gym trainer will tell you tomorrow morning or even in 3 months you will become like Arnold. You're not, or
Yeah.
you're going to become a bodybuilder. You're not going to become. That's bullshit.
Oh man.
so, so no, finance is not going to transform
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
3 months. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so it is better to start having those conversations. Start small. Start
Yeah.
with a limited scope, limited technology, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Start, make success, then do a little bit more, then do a little bit more, and eventually you'll get where you need to get.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And what, so the other question I wanted to ask was what's on your list to learn about? So there's so much going on with new technology coming along in the finance space. There's with the way that AI is coming on, there's tremendous opportunity there. What are some of the things that you are excited to find time and learn about and looking for what, to learn about this year?
So, okay, so now these are two different questions. Okay, so
Yeah, go on.
let me break this up. So first, for
Yeah,
the audience, if you have not done anything, then start with something. Okay, and
yeah,
again, don't learn basically macros in Excel. Don't learn that. It is not helpful, and don't learn it. Learn Power
no,
Query in Excel, for example,
yeah,
right? They start talking about Python. I don't know how difficult or easy it is to learn, but at least learn Power Query, stuff like that. Learn, maybe basic Power BI, things like that.
yeah.
Not very complicated. Start the journey there. What I am looking in next 12 months, what I am actively searching for on Google at the minute is
Mm,
CPM with AI. Okay,
okay,
because I see there is a space where your forecasting and budgeting cycles can be smarter, slicker, and better.
yeah.
And
Just
there,
describe just describe CPM for people that
so
might not.
corporate performance management, or what is also called EPM, which is enterprise performance management, both are fancy words for basically budgeting and forecasting technology solutions.
Fantastic.
Okay, whether
Yeah,
I mean, there are loads of brands on here. I'm not going to sit and name all the brands here, but there are lots of them out there.
yeah,
But they are all they are doing at some level is automating your consolidation of budgeting templates and things like that, or translations and things like that. They're good value. I deliver a lot of them as well. So they're good
yeah,
value. I'm not disagreeing with that.
yeah,
But I think there is a space for better. And that is where AI comes in, where it can start looking at your trajectory and saying, what is the art of the possible, what can
mm,
be. So basically, lined in your P&L or lined in your operating plan can be automatically forecasted, and then you have to tell the AI that no, this forecast will change because I am increasing productivity by this, by investing this capex, or I am changing.
changes. Right.
What are you changing? I am closing this facility down so the rent will come down because we are
Mm,
consolidating or whatever. We are more working from. So then what will happen, what should happen in my mind is AI should do your forecast 80-90%, and then last 10-20% you basically bring in real business intelligence or business decisions, that these are 10 things on the agenda for next year, which
yeah,
means my trajectory will change. And then what you track is not the budget. You
yeah,
track those 10 things. Have you acted upon them? Because if you have acted upon them, you will reach where you need to reach.
yeah,
Right. So today, what we all finance people, including myself, love doing: compare against budget, compare against forecast, compare against prior year, prior quarter. That needs to almost become automated and irrelevant, respectfully. Yes, it needs to be
yeah,
done, but needs to be automated and basically done in an automatic manner. What business energy needs to be focused on is, have we done those 10 things that we said we will do? Have we closed that site? Have we consolidated that team? Have we changed, improved productivity? Did we make the capex investment we said we will buy new trucks or new forklifts for us to do this better, for example? Has
yeah,
that happened? Have we bought those forklifts? Have they delivered the productivity improvement that they said? Did the
mm,
business case actually deliver the business case that it said it will? Right? Things like that. That's where then, that is where again, if you remember the start, I said I'm a business person first and then a finance person. Now, this is where my business mind comes into the picture of yes, the case study looks very nice. Finance signed it off. Did it deliver? Did
Yeah.
it really happen on the ground? Right?
Yeah.
That's what matters. Everything else is what? I mean, there's a reason why finance is said to be a support function because we write the books after the fact,
Mm.
right? If we behave like accountants. For
Yeah.
us to be business partners and value adding strategic partners, we have to be there before the decision is made,
Yeah.
as the decision is being implemented, and after the decision implemented, check if they delivered in the original
Yeah.
business case.
Yeah.
That's then when you become, you know what, these guys are actually our partners,
Yeah.
not accountants who just write capex and then depreciate it the wrong way around.
A business partner, not a business historian.
Yes,
There we go.
absolutely.
Brilliant. Let's just jump into some personal recommendations. What are some good books, resources, or tools that you have really helped you in your journey as you've progressed in your career?
So personal books, I'd say, is Seven Habits of Effective People. Cannot recommend that enough. Okay.
Yeah.
If you talk about basically analytical book, there is this book called oh God, Decision. Oh God, I've now lost it. So there's this book on decision analytics written by somebody on LinkedIn. It's a
I'll grab the link and I'll put it in the show
Yes,
notes. So,
please. Oh God, yes. I've got it on Kindle. So I've got it on my
yeah.
phone Kindle and my
Yeah.
laptop Kindle. It's a fantastic book. I have
Yeah.
read, learned so much from it. So that is something always to look at.
Yeah.
There is a Power BI Udemy course which I have recommended to like literally. I should get commission on this one. To at least 30 people personally. Again, I can share the link with you later. You can
Yeah.
put it in comments.
Yeah.
It is a 13-pound course, but
Yeah.
it is literally 20, 30 hours. Go and do it. At
Yeah.
least will get you started with it. Okay.
Yeah.
I am not saying you will do what all the fancy stuff we do, but at least when we do it, you will understand what the hell we are talking about. So there are things out there, right, which really help you with these kind of things. It's not that difficult. It's just for you to get up and find for it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, even the
Fantastic.
monk who sold his Ferrari. I mean, then I get philosophical. So again, I read monk who sold his Ferrari and stuff like that as well, right?
Fantastic. Fun question. What is your favorite chart or visualization and why?
Hands down waterfall. And
Okay.
only absolutely because I can show it to a non-finance person and they get it.
Got it.
Simple. I am not a complicated person in life. This, when I have shown even absolutely marketing managers, right, who hate Excel and hate finance, when I show
Yeah.
them that this is what your target was, this is what you have done, this is where you are now, therefore you have a problem, they're like,
Hmm.
I get it. Simple. Literally.
Yeah.
They just say,
No.
I get it. I'm like, okay, now what are you going to do about it? And then we agree action plan and I walk away.
Yeah.
Tell people a story, tell people a journey, and a waterfall chart to me personally has always been the one of the best tools where I can tell you where you are, where you have been, blah blah blah. It's the best storytelling tool for me.
Very good
So
storytelling tool.
I
Really.
use it all the time when I have to explain myself to somebody because otherwise it is difficult.
Fantastic. Tejas, thank you so much for coming and joining and sharing your insights, sharing some of your mistakes, sharing some of the tools and keys to your success. Thank you very much. How can people find you, get in touch with you? Where do you're a thought leader, so you share content. Where can they get in touch?
Best place to get in touch with me, I would always say repeatedly, is LinkedIn. I post every day. It is on my phone. I will check it in the middle of the night when I get up. Right, so literally available 24/7. On my LinkedIn, there is my Calendly link as well, where you can book time with me. No obligation. You want to just pick my brain and say, Tejas, I just wanted to pick your brain. I have this
Uh-huh.
problem. I will have this conversation. If it,
Yeah.
you know, don't think that just because I run a consulting business that I want to basically charge people whole day long. I don't. I genuinely enjoy what I do, absolutely
Okay.
passionate about it. So call me
Wow.
up, have a conversation, put a new challenge or a seed in my brain, and I will try to solve it, which is fun.
Yeah. Fantastic. Tejas, thank you very much. I would love to get you back on in the future. So look forward to that.
Definitely. I look forward to talking to you again, Simon. Thanks a lot for having me.
Thanks very much.